Hello and welcome to the first round of the LWS Open at Idlewild. This is the 13th Pro Tour Elite Series stop of the year, and we're finally back in the woods of Kentucky. I'm Madison Walker.
And I'm Erika Stinchcomb. We're two hot geese.
Honk.
Yeah, the first 6 holes of this course are pretty open, and then it's the classic Idlewild woods, super tough scrambling, technical lines. It's a roaring good time out there.
Yep, it's let's see, 9,205 feet. That's longer than I was expecting.
Same.
Established in 2000, you can tell because off the fairway is rough and the fairways are lovely. It's the number 20 course in the world with only 5 par 3s on the course.
The most difficult hole is the 6th hole. Only 10% birdies. And thanks to UDISC for tracking all of those stats we like to see.
Start out with Holyn Handley on our feature card. She's second place this year in birdie rate. Unbelievable. Birdieing 35% of the holes. Third place in Circle 1 in regulation and parking 64% of the holes. Wow.
And she's 6th in Disc Golf Pro Tour points. Macie Velediaz, we saw her last week. She's hitting the fairway 75% of the time this season, scrambling 41% of the time, and landing inside the circle 34% of the time.
And she is on the rise. Scoggins. First place in Circle 1X putting, no one's surprised. Second place in Circle 2 putting, 21% of her Circle 2 putts. Unreal. Also birdieing 32% of the holes she plays.
And Catrina Allen rounding out our card. She is 11th in park percentage at 9%. She is 12th in Circle 1X putting at 76% and makes 18% of her Circle 2 putts.
Let's start out with hole 1 at 638 feet and very dewy. This grass is super wet. You want to throw a big drive off the tee, but don't hyzer out because there's an out of bounds line right at that tree line all the way down, wrapping around the backside of the green. The basket's elevated, and that definitely does get in your head because it drops off right behind the basket. So putting from the short side is very interesting. That fairway tree definitely gets in the way on your second shot and makes the putting a little bit more difficult.
I believe they moved in this right side OB line a bit from years past, making it a little bit more difficult. Wow, this is so pretty. That's a smash from Catrina.
Next to the tee from Los Angeles, California, Scoggins.
There was not a whole lot of wind to deal with today. It was light here and there. You can see from the flag on the right-hand side, there was a bit of a tailwind on hole 1, but it was pretty negligible.
Oh, should probably mention that Catrina Allen is the reigning champion. She won this event last year. Missy Gannon got second place, and Scoggins got tied for second with Missy. They lost to Catrina by 2 strokes.
Third to the tee from Morristown, Tennessee, Macie Velediaz.
I am Macie Velediaz. I am from Morristown, Tennessee, and I've been playing professionally since 2019. So Morristown, Tennessee is the capital of disc golf. And when I first started playing there, I didn't even know that. And then everybody opened me with welcome arms there. My husband was playing all the time and I was walking a lot. And I decided that I'm just gonna pick it up and start playing with him. And honestly, when I first started playing, I was really nervous and I hated throwing in front of people. And I met a group of women and went out there and played with them. And yep, that's how I started playing. When me and Jenny first started playing, I would always watch coverage, and I remember watching Catrina and Paige always battling it out, and I've always wanted to be in that position. And I didn't really know much about disc golf because, like I said, I played softball, so I never really thought that coming out here this could be a career or a job for me. And then I met these women and I started playing and I realized that, I could compete. And Jamie believed in me from the very beginning. He knew as soon as I picked up a disc that I was going to be playing professional. I didn't believe it, but he has so much belief in me, and without him, I wouldn't be here till this day. So me and Jamie met when we were in high school, and as soon as we started dating, we started going and playing disc golf. That was like our dates too. So we would go out, we'd play disc golf, and he taught me everything I know with my bag and with my shots in the course. He knows exactly what I'm capable of and what I'm not capable of. And I think that helps me doing well in the tournament because I don't have to go out there and think what shot works for me. He knows, so he'll tell me, and we talk a lot about each shot. He got me into the sport, but now he's keeping me here. And I know that it's a lot of me, I'm throwing the shots, but to have someone to support me no matter what I do, it means a lot. Growing up, I never thought that this would be a job for me. Even now, like when you have to write down what your profession is or someone asks you what you're doing in life, it's still shocking to me to say professional athlete or professional disc golf player. And I think the little girls or little boys who are grown up and are playing right now, I think to still follow your dreams, still go out there and chase that. And there's going to be people out there that tell you that this isn't a realistic goal, but if you go out there and just keep following your dreams, keep practicing, one day you might grow up and be a Macie Velediaz or a Calvin Heimberg or Catrina Allen. You never know. So I didn't think I would be here, and look at me now.
Look at her now.
What a fun highlight.
Oh, I love that so much. And Macie's wearing her signature edition jersey right there. I believe you can still get them from Team Discura. Go check it out. Support Macie on tour.
That's good power. A little pull to the right. It just needs to miss that tree, and it's great.
How many times did y'all at home say, "Aw," watching that?
My guess is 4.
From Grapevine, Texas, Holyn Handley.
Can't wait to watch Holyn attack these wooded fairways. She has a booming backhand and forehand in the wide open. Can't wait to see her shape some shots.
Her forehand really plays well out here at Idlewild. I think it's the most fun lines to see in the woods.
Yeah, good throw.
So I was saying last year that +2 won the tournament for Catrina over 3 rounds, followed by Macie and Own at +4. So even or just a little bit under par is a great score. The conditions were worse last year. I'd imagine we're going to see some under par rounds today for sure.
Own getting a really bad break on this shot, rolling towards the out of bounds, and unfortunately not stopping. That is crazy. This grass is so thick.
Yeah, when you said dewy, I was like, what disc golf related term are you saying? And then I realized it was the grass. Your feet are soaked, waterproof shoes or not, within 2 holes out here in the morning. This is pretty.
Yeah, Holyn threw her tee shot super low, but you can see this second shot leaves room for error on the first shot. She'll give herself a look for birdie.
The nice thing about all these holes at Idlewild, or at least the majority of them, is like at 638 par 4, they're reachable for everybody in the field. To birdie. Katrina, did she get inside the circle?
Yeah,
right
around
on the edge.
Mm-hmm. And she'll have that death putt I was talking about in the whole flyover. It's elevated and on a hill with a drop off right behind it, so it is a scary putt. Macie coming in underneath that one guardian tree, and that is rare. That does not usually happen.
Yeah, it usually just knocks you down, maybe rolls you a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Own from, speaking of rolls, where Own went out of bounds. Looks, I believe it's probably 60 feet away down there. It might be a little more.
Yeah, I was going to say edge of circle 2, somewhere in that realm. And it is very uphill too, so she's just going to concede the bogey, which is a bummer. You really want to start off with some birdies in these first 6 open holes.
Catrina dead center, just low on this elevated basket. That's a nice conservative bid. It drops off so steeply behind towards out of bounds.
And the classic putt from under this tree. You usually see one person from every card or 2 have to do this, but not everyone makes it. That's a sweet putt from Holyn.
Heck yeah. From a knee, hole 1, no problem.
And Macie for a nice easy birdie of her own.
26% of the field getting this birdie on hole 1.
See Own shake off her disc. I will say it's not quite as hot and humid as previous years. It is.
It was pretty
nice. I'm
nice.
not gonna call it pleasant, but pleasant adjacent.
Yeah. Still humid as ever, as it always is in Kentucky.
But it's usually so much worse than this.
Mm-hmm. Macie and Holyn going to
join everybody at 1 under.
Yep. lots of birdies, the top 26.
Hole 2, there's an OB line on the left side, so it really calls for a sidearm. At 509 feet, again, it's very short. They actually shortened the pin position to an old pin position we had a few years ago. You want to land as far out into this gap as you can before the sidewalk and ideally cross on your second shot. Again, this was longer the last couple of years and they shortened it to just across the water, so it's very reachable. It's a really small landing zone, and even if you land in it, it's uphill footing. There's a weird pile of rocks, there's fairway trees. It's really tough to have confident footing to go across on the second. This is the most common play, and we're gonna see, I think she's like just past those rocks maybe, so probably a decent spot.
There's also this just perfect bush growing right on the short side of the water that you have to carry, and it forces you to have to almost throw nose up. You can't take the linear route to our new basket like you want to.
That looks friggin' perfect from Holyn. I mean, Macie's was really good as well, but Holyn gets kind of up to the top of the hill.
So distance sidearm is definitely the play. Sidearm is not usually the play to get all the way there, but these ladies are making it look so easy. Catrina in a more typical landing spot.
I would say typically if you are just past that ditch that Catrina is in, even by a foot or two, you're like, yeah, I did it. Yeah. I did the thing. But backhand's just so risky with that OB line left.
I throw the backhand just because I feel like that's the only way I can get the distance.
Fair enough.
But these people are making it look so easy, getting all the way onto the other hill. Owen's going to have some low-hanging tree branches to contend with. But this second shot, I would say Catrina's, what, 280?
Tops. Probably.
Maybe plays like 280?
Yeah, probably closer to 240 or 250, but it's uphill and awkward footing, and she does a good job just to get across there. You see a lot of women who are out of position just pitch up before the sidewalk and then leave a really technical, what's over the water, like 120?
It says on the course map, it says 105.
Okay. Owen with a great shot there.
Sorry, 115.
That was pretty close. I can't tell if Owen got in the circle, but she's definitely across and potentially putting. The basket's very close to water, though, so you got to be careful on your putts.
And it's a really steep green, so you can very easily roll.
Looks like a justice from Macie. I like the out to the right play that kind of, takes the water out of play a little bit instead of going straight at it. Man, what a drive from Holyn.
So good. Just a little chip shot.
Looks pretty good. I think.
Is that 4 for 4? Everyone's safe on the green?
Not on, a safe across.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Catrina's not going to run this.
4 is great on this hole. 23% of the field getting the birdie on this one, but 33 getting a bogey or worse. Lots of doubles.
I'm a huge fan of this. I don't want to call it a change because it's a change back. But for FPO, I think this is a much more appropriate and scoreable hole than the MPO position.
I totally agree. But it can still bite you.
Oh, yeah, they all can.
They all can.
Oh. Macie.
No.
Brutal. Yeah, it was a timid putt.
This green is so sloped on both the short side and the left side.
This one's almost scarier because if she hits cage again, that was the better miss. It's going to roll straight back at her. Ouch. Wow.
What a turn of events. We've seen already two pretty
Birdie
brutal...
to double bogey.
Yeah, we've seen two pretty brutal rollaways already. Welcome to Idlewild.
Known for its hills. Alone.
Yeah. Holyn gonna walk away with the lone birdie on hole 2.
Looking good in that walk.
Oh yeah, looking confident. And that's a 2-stroke lead on our feature card. A handful of people at 2 under to start out.
See a honk up there, Miss Madison Walker.
Hole 3, 656 feet, the U hole. Not my favorite, very wide open, but with a low ceiling that really does make you think. Your tee shot, you want to throw a big turnover or a sidearm. Finishing straight is totally fine. Not a lot of people are playing this one for birdie. It would be a super bonus birdie because of the shape of the hole and the second shot. There's one big tree that forces you to either throw big anhyzer or sidearm around it or go under the branches risky towards the mando tree. There is mandos that doesn't allow you to cut the corner at all, and then the green is very heavily guarded by some big pampas grass and low-hanging branches and a nice hill.
Whew, take a breath. Holyn catches one of the 2 guardian trees. I think sidearm is a great par play. You can get a backhand to work as well. I think the only way anyone is ever going to birdie this is with a hyper-aggressive backhand roller off the tee.
Yeah, off the tee or off the second shot.
They made this change last year because they added a hole after this, and so they kind of needed the hole to finish to the right. And it's not a terrible hole, but we've yet to see a birdie on it, right?
Yep. Last year, I don't think we saw any. And, you know, every once in a while, it's okay to have a hole that you're playing for par, but it just is a little unsettling because if you do make an early mistake like Holyn hitting that fairway tree, it can be very difficult to recover, especially with the green being as chancy as it tends to be.
Yeah, I'm less bothered by that and more bothered by, I watched Stacy Kiefer throw 2 amazing shots, just back-to-back gorgeous, and she got to, like, circle 2's edge, and it's just like, you want to see that be rewarded.
Yeah, there's no differentiation between the good shots and the bad shots.
Holyn really sending that forehand, catches a late tree. She should have a straight approach at it, no more than 250 feet, and probably closer than that.
Macie absolutely smashed her drive.
She did. I kind of like the backhand actually, or the super power sidearm to get out that far because it really opens up the angle here.
It's so weird. You're almost throwing back on yourself on the second shot.
Yeah. I'm trying to get tricky under these branches, and she does it.
This played is the 3rd most difficult hole of the day, with 49% of the field taking a bogey or worse.
Holyn's 3rd. Getting over that tall grass just outside the circle. The putting's pretty tough too. I don't know if you covered that in your lightning fast hole preview.
It's so sloped.
Yeah, it's very sloped. And there's some trees in the way. And sometimes I swear you just get caught up in that grass and have nothing. Ooh.
Catrina giving it a bid. Probably on accident. She'll have a little bit of a death putt coming back.
I like that though. I think it's good to be on the top rather than like be putting up at it. Same for Macie. I think those are great shots. Definitely thinking about it. Huh?
Oh my God, it looked like it evaporated through the basket. Yeah, no one even got to circle 2 in regulation.
Dang. Yeah, Stacy was really close. She was like a foot away. I wanted her to be in it just for the statistic. Holyn with a little jumper for a par save.
Nice.
Left side catch. Sick.
Wow. Backboard. Yeah, there were no birdies on the day, and I'm sure there was a slew of par putts that looked just like this from a distance. Not a gimme by any means.
A whole slew, you think?
A slew. Just to clarify, a slew is more than a few and less than a lot.
It's less than a lot? Okay.
On the scale of...
What scale? What?
Words with no distinct value.
Oh, okay. That scale. Bunch of pars is good on this hole. Mm-hmm. Maybe we'll see a birdie in the next 2 days.
It's out there.
Yeah, just 170-footer away. Mm-hmm. Or aggressive roller again. 4 is a new hole from last year. It's a par 5, 722 feet. You just want to get across the water. Anywhere in the short grass is fine. If you're hyper aggressive, you can go across in 2 and try to get the eagle. Most women gonna lay up to the gap that we just passed through. It's a pretty small landing zone, maybe 15 or 20 feet, to have the ideal shot across the water, which is less than 200 feet, I think, maybe 200 feet max if you lay up correctly. It is, yeah, it's quite a tight landing zone. We have seen some eagles, I believe. We've definitely seen eagle attempts. I bet Holyn's gonna go for it with this huge tee shot.
Yeah, you have to bite off so much and keep it center cut. That's the key here. She's way far down there, but when you're pinched off to the left or right side, the angle can be very difficult to shoot the gap. It's almost like a wall on either side of the gap. Mm-hmm. Erika's right. From the landing zone, it's like 225 to the basket.
My distances are on point today. I'm excited about it. I will get the next one wrong for sure because I'm so excited now.
Catrina with a dead center tee shot. That's exactly what you want. Not sure if it has the distance to go for it, but she has gone for scarier shots and succeeded.
Yeah, she looked maybe a little disappointed or something. I do think potentially she landed shorter than she wanted. It's just hard to say. Owen going big flex with a flippy destroyer.
And it hides her just at the perfect time.
As it always does. I feel like a marker is that one tree we just saw in frame. It's on the left. I don't know if you can quite tell on the screen. As long as you're even with that, it's pretty easy to birdie the hole. This is the one thing you really can't do. Fade, 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 fade. Oh, good. Mm-hmm. If you are deep right, it is a nightmare over there.
Yeah, this played is the second easiest hole of the day because it is a little bit of a softer hole with that par 5.
It's a short one.
But the thing is, it would be too difficult for a par 4.
Yeah.
Like it's definitely a tweener hole or maybe just a nice birdie to get if you can execute your layup.
MPO has 2 eagleable par 5s on the
the
course, so I don't mind having one for us.
Yes, definitely. And you really want to make sure there is one way you can get across by laying up before the trees, but you really want to, in my opinion, protrude into the trees, like you can see Macie doing here. Get that disc to go past that first line of trees.
Yeah, the first line. You don't want to go much farther than that. It starts to drop off really quick. Wow, Holyn's so far up here, but just way too pinched. She's going to jump putt for her second shot. That's surprising that she laid up early. As you said, I think...
Because you can pretty much go anywhere in the landing zone as long as you're past the first line. But this is fine.
It is fine.
She's confident in her abilities, and she does have this distance sidearm to be able to get to the green.
But, she could have just not had that tree in her way also.
Yeah.
Holyn kind of going deep on her third shot.
There is no out of bounds past the basket.
Got another circle's edge-ish putt for birdie. Macie going forehand. Hangs it out nice and wide and is trusting the stability and skips up. That looks like a bullseye hit. Mm-hmm.
Owns third to the green.
Destroyer.
Yeah, she blasts a little pass, but inside the circle for a birdie look.
And we are watching all of these ladies take sidearms. I do think that's the more open play because of, the shape of the hole here. If you land a little right, you can definitely make the backhand work pretty easily. But it's fun to watch. Fun to watch a card full of confident sidearm players.
You gotta have both out here, that is for sure.
Oh wow, Holyn a little farther than I thought. This has to be at least 50, maybe 55.
Almost half the field birdieing this hole, 47%.
Sweet. Let's see if Owen's one of them. She is. Mm-hmm. Cashes her first birdie of the round.
3/4 of the field getting at least to circle 2 for birdie.
Macie to get back to even with another birdie. Sure.
Catrina taking the birdie as well. Holyn just going to settle for par.
Yeah, should we tell her to get farther into the gap tomorrow?
Yeah.
She probably didn't even practice the layup. She just practiced the eagle
I
going
bet-
across
I
on
bet
the
you she
second.
did.
Like, I mean, I'm actually kind of convinced that happened.
Yeah.
Okay, Madison Walker. See you.
Nice little hot start. Hole 5, though, is a dream ruiner. 334 feet, you're thinking birdie all day. But it's a very difficult technical tee shot, even though it's wide open. The basket's elevated and it's right next to out of bounds. That's all the way down the left-hand side with that little pond. The way the fairway is shaped, downhill sloping from right to left, makes the angle difficult. We also had a really lovely headwind today, so you have to throw something overstable high and let it come back. Do not early release, you'll find the water. Do not turn something over because there is an out of bounds sidewalk on the right-hand side up by all those spectators.
Yeah, and the wind was kind of flipping them up. Catrina working the wind really well.
And that's the safe play there.
It is. And, I mean, Catrina has so much distance. She could easily go for this one, but it's so risky. I like her play there to just play for par.
Yeah, your brain is just drawing all these lines. Like, I could throw flat and kind of a flex. I could throw a big turnover shot right at the basket. I could do a distance sidearm.
I think distance flex sidearm is the safest way to get there.
Totally. If you have it at what is it again?
334.
The backhand, there's just so many options, almost too many.
And they're all risky. Macie with an orbit grace here.
I watched Macie park this one in practice. She leaves it a little short here, but she'll have a putt. Downhill death putt.
Will she, though?
I would have a putt. Macie has a layup.
Holyn choosing backhand. That looks like a mid-range or a slow-speed disc.
I swear that
Did
bench
she-
has a magnet on it.
Yeah. Okay, she's in bounds, but really just right on that bench. I wish she sat down and threw it.
I bet if you-
I would have offered her like $10 to sit down and throw her approach
A
shot.
hot dog from the fair across the street.
Yeah.
I bet you if you look at all the tee shots where they landed in the whole FPO field, there would be like an obscenely high ratio near that bench.
Do you really think so?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, there's always a little bit of a headwind on this hole that makes it tricky.
Couple of layups, and you see a lot of that on this hole. Own with the ability to run at it.
Let's go, Own.
Wow.
Probably not too many birdies today.
Own was one of only 3.
Who else got it?
Valerie Mandujano and Danny Clyden also got it. I didn't want to
Sweet.
spoil. I wasn't sure if we were done.
Oh, yeah. Fair.
Danny Clyden made a circle 2 putt. It was awesome. A really aggressive backhand shot. I'm guessing Valerie threw a backhand as well. Ballers. Mind-boggling that a 330-foot hole can be so difficult to birdie. Own gaining a stick on the rest of the card and the field for that matter.
Valerie Mandujano joining Miss Madison at 3 down through 5. Hole 6, they moved us back to the MPO tee pad. We used to tee from right here, which is a drop zone for a Miss Mandatory that's on the right. Sidearm is the play once again. You want to land somewhere on this hillside. There's an OB creek that winds its way to the left, and then around the basket up here that can be kind of well, I guess it is an island. You can definitely birdie this one. You see a lot of women who throw their first shot and then sometimes will just lay up a little bit short of that island and try to get like a circle's edge or circle 2 putt for birdie. You really have to throw quite a tee shot to like be able to get on the actual green itself.
This shot is so awesome. I'm glad that they moved us back.
Me too.
Because you really can run at this tee shot now. I mean, you have to throw something far to get down there, so it's cool to really open up at Idlewild.
Yeah, so the men play from back here as a 4, and they had us playing at the short tee pad as a 3, like the hardest 3. They should have switched it if they were going to do anything, because
Agreed.
it's so hard as a 3, and it's still hard as a 4, but it's fair now.
It's nice to, take out a bit of like the poke and hope kind of a shot that we were throwing from the short pad. You just have to throw at the trees and hope you didn't catch one.
So again, this is a headwind. The risk is turning your sidearm over into the trees on the left. You can see the wind kind of play with Macie's disc, but she's throwing a nice, stable Royal Rive and lands in a great spot.
Ooh, with a nice little roll out into the middle.
It just needs a check up though.
Okay, whoa.
Yeah, it's
whoa.
Gaining some speed. Okay.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that rolled much farther than I expected. You really don't see too many backhands here. You see a few, but gosh, this is smoked. Look at this thing.
Mm-hmm. And on hyzer the whole way. She's almost in the gap. If you're close to the shade. Oh my God, you've got it made.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Catrina gonna throw a sidearm second shot. That's pretty typical as well. Missing to the left side of that tree. There is a gap, but you do bring a couple other trees into contention. If you catch them, you can go kick out of bounds to the left pretty quickly, but Catrina's filters through really nicely. She'll have a long putt for birdie.
Yeah, I thought she was going to get caught up, but she definitely has a circle 2 look.
Own forced to take more of a hyzer through that right gap.
That's looking good. Just needs to fade.
That's looking so good.
Super good. Yeah, I freaking love this one as a par 4.
I had a guess that circle 2 in regulation would be like miles higher than circle 1 in regulation, but 44% got to circle 2 while only 7% of the field got to circle 1 in regulation.
Yeah, it's tough. It's super risky.
Yeah, mostly that circle 1 is just the creek that goes around the basket.
So then, yeah,
the
green is only, what, 20 feet across?
Yep.
Max?
Very narrow, and it's an artificial turf, so it's really skippy.
So even Holyn with this stellar drive isn't trying to actually go across. She's just trying to get close to the logs and give herself a long look for birdie. Everyone on the dance floor.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of professional dancer would Catrina be if she was? Let's pick a genre for them all.
She gives me ballerina vibes.
Sure, I like that. Oh God, Macie would be
do-si-do.
Yeah, okay, I was gonna say like a 2-step kind of a
yes, line dancer, professional line dancer.
Oh, Owen would be like a salsa, like something spicy. Tango.
Show us the spice, Owen.
Ooh. Oh. Good run.
Holyn, she'd be something technical. Ballroom.
Ballroom. I don't know. What's the most powerful dance? That's what I'm... Oh, what a putt.
Wow. Yes, our second slow mess from Holyn today.
Man, she didn't even have to jump that one.
So good. She's one of only 3 birdies on the day with style from circle 2. Yes.
Such a well-played hole. I always respect when you lay up and you don't get aggressive and then have to make the putt.
Mm-hmm. Missy Gannon and Valerie Mandujano got that hole as well.
And to be clear, in the old position, no one was getting it.
Nope.
No one.
I don't... If we had birdies, they were few and far between, but I don't even remember any.
The rest of the card cleans up their pars. What a birdie from Holyn. She gets to 3 down. I feel like Holyn would be a break dancer.
Oh, yes, she definitely...
Okay, cool.
She'd be a great break dancer.
That's what I think, like with like really confident poses.
The orbit fell, and this thing has been amazing. The plastic, the flight, everything is just amazing. You can really manipulate the angles on this thing. It's a felon, but it does things that felons really aren't supposed to do, and that's why I love it.
Hole 7, 400 feet, and one of the most technical tee shots of the day. Uphill, through very narrow gaps, landing on a very sloped area that's a tiny landing zone. Your second shot is, again, super uphill, really tight gaps all the way down. Getting off the fairway either side can pretty much mean instant bogey. It's very difficult to scramble on this one. The more right and short you can go on this tee shot, the better. Pushing deep and straight can make this hole a lot more difficult. But regardless of how perfect you put it in the landing zone, like we see Holyn doing here, this hole's tough.
It is.
This birdie is tough.
This birdie is tough. Yeah, if you get across, it's not the hardest par. Sidearm, definitely the best play to progress up the fairway. We see Owns Destroyer get a great skip. A little bit of an unfortunate roll. Okay, massively unfortunate roll. Massively.
Wow.
Yeah, I had a 100-foot roll away on this one.
Gosh.
On the approach. Like slow roll.
Idlewild.
Leisurely. Known for its hills alone.
There's
Catrina
so much hills though.
Yeah, Catrina pulls her sidearm to the left. Kind of looks like she's maybe dealing with some grip issue, and she's going to be OB pretty early, likely choosing to go from the drop zone. Is it a mandatory drop zone, or is it
No, I think
your
it's
choice?
optional.
Yeah, okay. Macie with a fantastic shot.
Textbook right where you want to be and plus 15 feet.
Textbook plus 15. That was her orbit felon. This is such a difficult par save. And Catrina's a little off the line to the right, but dead straight.
I watched Chantal Badinsky throw it so perfect.
To circle 2.
But yeah, not even barely have a putt.
Yeah.
It's so far away.
Yeah, it's a really tough save. That's the thing. Once you get into these Idlewild woods, if you get off the fairway at all or catch an early OB creek, like say goodbye. I mean, you're lucky to get a bogey, to be honest. Doubles happen quickly.
You see Own just has to pitch out to the fairway. She can't aggressively attack the green.
Yeah, that was quite a roll. In her second one, it just sucks.
I like the forehand flex play here better than the backhand.
Really?
Yeah, I feel more confident on this tee shot, I think, not having to turn your back, especially with the uphill run up. Throwing a backhand feels crazy.
Oh, I like the backhand.
Wow, 23% of the field got birdies on this.
Heck yes.
That's great. That's higher than I would have expected.
Catrina chips up, conceding the bogey with that out of bounds stroke.
It says 42% of the field got to circle too.
Holyn just inside the circle for a par save. Uphill putt here.
Wow.
Okay.
She's a machine.
3 down, bogey free. She's made 3 big putts already too.
Focus face on.
Yes, Macie. Nice little hyzer putt around the tree. And she finds herself under par. So important when you get those big numbers. Macie had that double bogey to just come back from it and keep getting birdies, not let it get to you.
Mm-hmm, especially on this course where you can double it almost any hole.
I would say any hole. Mm-hmm. Any hole.
Macie with the only even look for birdie from the putting green on our feature card. Still trailing Holyn by a couple strokes.
Valerie Mandujano 5 down through 7. Dang.
Lighting on fire in those first few holes.
Yeah, your 4 down is pretty good too, I guess. But 5 though. Hole 8 is a super short par 5, 576 feet. I like an understable flex sidearm. You can make a backhand work. You want to get to about right here off your tee shot, and then second shot you're trying to progress just to the top of this hill. You can get more aggressive, but you really don't need to. Then it's more largely a sidearm chip shot to the pin here. It does slope quite a bit behind the green. It's kind of deceptive. Definitely birdieable, definitely double bogeyable. I think the backhand off the tee is so difficult. I really love the flex sidearm, or kind of like flip up understable drifty sidearm.
Yeah, regardless of what you choose, this tee shot is so hard. The corner is blind. You can't see some of the fairway trees that can very easily grab your disc.
Wow, Macie went Royal Rive, which is I believe a 13 speed, so super aggressive. You see a lot of people throwing like mid ranges and fairway drivers, even a putter just to hit the first gap.
You kind of like, I feel like you do need a little bit of speed in order to get to the corner where you want it to flex out.
Like a fairway driver's amount of speed.
I throw a distance driver as well.
Oh man, you're braver than me. I'm scared of bouncing all over the place.
Yeah, normally in the woods I don't want to, but for some reason on this tee shot I feel like it kind of
just screams, get aggressive.
Yeah, you have to. Because being in the trees on the right-hand side or early left where Catrina is right now.
Literally anywhere in the trees.
Yeah, it is so difficult to recover from.
Yeah, the best you can do is just get out into the grass.
That's a pretty great recovery shot.
It was a great recovery shot. She did kind of get a mean little bounce, though. But, yeah, then you just need to get to the top of the hill, and you can save par. It's pretty hard to birdie, though, if you're out of position off the tee.
Own in a really good landing zone, but she'll unfortunately be pinned a little right on her second shot.
Yeah.
Chopping up the right side can be brutal. We see Holyn probably just pitching out here.
Yeah, jump putt out.
I tried the right side today. We wrestled.
With your hyper-aggressive tee shot?
Yeah, we wrestled. It won.
Macie with a flex. She's going to be a little pinched on the left, but it should be able to still attack, I think. I think that's the better miss.
It's smarter to error for sure on the left side.
Holyn just trying to throw nice and straight to the top of the hill. It's a little low, but centered in the gap, I believe.
So this is one of those holes that once your tee shot lands and you see where that is, you have to make a decision. Am I still trying to birdie this one, or am I just going to settle for bogey? And settle for par. And it's a pretty easy par to get once you make that decision.
Yeah.
It's the pushing.
And then if you try to push for birdie, it's you get the bogey usually.
That is what will come bite you.
I did that today. It was a good time. Same. Owns third, gets most of the way down there. She'll actually have a really long look at a birdie. I like this wider play from Catrina. Own kind of took a more inside gap. The outside is definitely the clearest path, and that was a solid shot from Catrina.
Holyn's fourth, just trying to flex one up to the green and land soft.
If by flex you mean pure hyzer.
Yeah, I thought she was going to throw a little flexor. She'll slide a little bit long and have some low-hanging tree branches, but very doable for the par.
It can be awkward putting in there. Those branches hang way down in certain places. Macie with a pure hyzer upshot.
Mm-hmm.
Puts it to about 20.
Almost a carbon copy of Holyn's landing.
Yeah, I think Macie will have a bit easier of a putt, and hers is for birdie. Own just laying up for a par. It's a great save from Catrina from being early left off the tee.
Yeah, really nice recovery shot. She made the decision for par, and she stuck to it.
I'm extra impressed after my own decision-making today.
Holyn going to save her par as well.
Holyn looking so comfortable on the putting green.
Oh, yeah.
Making them from everywhere. Macie for birdie. Yes, girl.
Own going to settle for par as well. Only 14% of the field getting a birdie on that one. That's 6 birdies out.
It's so crazy because it's only 576 feet.
I know.
You only have to throw like 115 feet per shot.
Yeah, and it seems like a soft par in practice, and then you get out there and you're like, whoa, how'd I get here?
What is this place?
Not so And hole 9 to wrap up the front. 258 feet. A very narrow gap all the way to right here where it opens up a little bit, but right into a very guarded sloping green that slopes away from the tee pad. I like a forehand here, but we saw James Conrad ace with a backhand turnover. You can make anything work here. It's about what you're confident with. I like the low shot, but there's a tree that guards that middle line that we saw Macie take.
I think the best play if you have the power is like a slightly stable forehand mid-range. I don't quite have that power, so if you bump up to like a fairway driver, the risk is you get a skip often and end up to the right. But a backhand is definitely the scarier play. You can get so many kicks in so many crazy places with the backhand, more so than the forehand.
And this hole can be incredibly punishing off the fairway.
Own's just going to drop straight down.
Not quite enough room to flex one here.
Yeah, it's a baby flex for sure. Catrina also pulling her forehand wide. Not really sure where that ended up. We'll see.
There's more room on the left side than there is on the right, but there is some brutal areas on that left side too.
Yeah, our feature card lady's having some trouble with this one. That's the thing. These gaps don't seem so small in practice. Mm-hmm. And you get out here like, boy, whew, that is...
I only get one chance.
It's pretty narrow. You guys see that?
This approach is sketchy on its own too. It slopes so steeply away from the basket that if you come in a little hot, all of a sudden you find yourself with a 50-foot comeback putt from the shul.
It's another one that can pick up and roll as well. I never realized how many hills are out here.
Yes. Almost every green is slopey.
Yeah. Holyn with a really nice upshot. Beautiful speed control on that one.
Catrina found a little path
Yeah,
over
what
here.
is this? It's kind of nice.
Nice little level shot to the basket too.
Yeah. All right. What's amazing is if the camera were to turn to the right, you would be like, how did her disc get through to here?
There's just a wall.
Yeah. Own circle's edge for a par save. 1 inch too high.
Macie with a pretty classic putt for par on this hole. You find yourself right on that circle's edge mark for par more often than you'd like.
That's why Holyn's upshot was so impressive to stay close like that.
Definitely. 21% of the field getting birdies on this hole.
Boy, feature card struggling though.
Idlewild will take your lunch money
Yeah.
with no problem.
And like slap you in the face with it. Holyn and Catrina gonna take a par on that last hole. And Valerie Manduhano leading the way after 9 holes, 4 down. Madison Walker, honk. Holyn Handley, Sarah Hokum, Emily Beach, all 3 down, tied for second.
What was a hot round last year? Do you remember? 3 down, 4
I
down?
forgot to look. I'm not gonna lie. I will look it up really quick.
Having this many people under par is what I'm saying on the front
Impressive.
9 is
Very
so
impressive.
awesome.
Yeah.
I know we do have really nice calm conditions, but it's really awesome to see everyone absolutely shredding. It looks like in the top 20, even par or better. We still have 9 more holes, so please come hang out with us. It stays thickly wooded for most of the back 9. So
And hills.
yeah,
Thickly hilled.
thickly hilled and wooded. So please come chill. I'm Madison Walker.
I'm Erika Stinchcomb. We're the 2 hot geese.
Honk.